Imagine you are a hunter-gatherer 12,000 years ago. You live in small bands of perhaps 20 or 30 people. You move with the seasons. You follow the herds. You have no permanent homes, no farms, no livestock, no pottery, no metal, no writing, no wheels. You sleep under the stars or in seasonal shelters. Your most complex possessions are stone tools, bone needles, and woven baskets. According to the archaeology textbooks that shaped 20th century anthropology, this is humanity at the beginning of the climb. The next 10,000 years would bring agriculture, settled villages, cities, kingdoms, writing, and finally civilization in its full sense. According to that traditional model, monumental architecture, the kind that requires hundreds of skilled laborers, sophisticated planning, and large food surpluses, was a late development. It came after agriculture, after permanent settlement, after social hierarchy. The pyramids of Egypt, the temples of Mesopotamia, the megaliths of Stonehenge, all of these are monuments built by societies that had been agricultural for thousands of years. Then in 1994, a German archaeologist named Klaus Schmidt drove to a hilltop in southeastern Turkey, started digging, and broke the model. The site is called Göbekli Tepe, the hill with a belly. It is the oldest known monumental site in human history. It is more than 11,500 years old. It is older than agriculture in the region. It was built by hunter-gatherers. The implications are still being absorbed by archaeology. Schmidt was a researcher with the German Archaeological Institute. The hilltop had been surveyed in 1963 by an Istanbul University team that noted oddly shaped limestone fragments and identified the site as a possible Byzantine cemetery. Schmidt visited in 1994, recognized the limestone fragments as deliberately carved Stone Age work, and began full excavations. Within months he understood that he was looking at something that should not exist. The excavations revealed a series of round and oval enclosures, each 20 to 30 meters across, with massive T-shaped limestone pillars arranged around the perimeter and in the center. The largest pillars stand 5.5 meters tall and weigh up to 20 tons. They are carved with intricate reliefs of animals: foxes, scorpions, snakes, lions, vultures, wild boars. Some pillars have stylized human arms and hands carved into their lower faces, suggesting they represent humanoid or divine figures. The carvings are not crude. They are elegant, technically sophisticated, executed with surgical precision. 20 separate enclosures have been identified through ground-penetrating radar surveys. About 5 have been substantially excavated. Each enclosure was used for some period, then deliberately filled in with rubble and abandoned, often with a new enclosure built directly above or nearby. The excavated structures span a period of about 2,000 years, from approximately 9600 BC to 7500 BC. The oldest structures are the largest and most elaborate. The newer ones are smaller and simpler. The complexity peaked at the very beginning, then gradually declined. This is the opposite of what archaeology expected. The most important fact about Göbekli Tepe is its age. Carbon dating of organic material in the construction layers consistently produces dates around 11,000 years ago. That is 6,000 years older than the pyramids of Egypt. It is 2,000 years older than the oldest cities of Mesopotamia. It is older than human agriculture. The first domesticated wheat and barley do not appear until at least 1,000 years after Göbekli Tepe was begun. The first domestic animals are even later. The first pottery in the region is later still. We are looking at hunter-gatherers building a stone monument the size of a football field, with 20-ton carved pillars erected with no metal tools, no wheels, and no draft animals. The classic model of civilization said this could not happen. It happened. Who built it, and how? The builders were almost certainly hunter-gatherer bands from the surrounding area. The Fertile Crescent at this time was dotted with bands of perhaps 100 or more people who lived in seasonal camps.